Hey everybody, our guest today is a BJJ and Judo black belt, and he's the owner of Zombie Proof BJJ in Sydney, Nova Scotia. He's also the creator of Supernatural Survival Gear, a Jiu Jitsu clothing and gear brand. He has a very large internet presence, and that's built around his innovative technique breakdowns. And we're very, very pleased to welcome to the show today, Kent Peters.
This is Justin Lesko, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu brown belt and former pro MMA fighter.
And I'm Mike Callahan, I'm a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu brown belt and a law enforcement officer.
Welcome to That Jiu-Jitsu podcast.
Hey, Kent, can you hear us?
Yes, I can. What's up, guys?
What's up, man? I appreciate you coming on with us.
Yeah, man. No, I'm happy to do it.
We had a little scheduling wasn't super easy for us, but I appreciate you getting on. What happened?
Well, it's always like a last minute thing with me. Like where the wife has so many horses, there's always something going on.
So when you said you had to go to the barn the other day, that was like the actual barn.
It was a literal barn.
Yeah, like the actual barn. Like my wife has 40 horses, and I just clean and do like bullshit stuff. So
I wasn't sure if it was like one of the, like, we're in Canada, so he's talking like the hockey rink, the barn. That's like
yeah.
Like
Canadian,
some secret jiu-jitsu thing, yeah.
Is this like the Saddle 2.0? I haven't learned yet.
I know, right?
New position.
Yeah, no, jiu-jitsu's still illegal here, so
Well,
the mark on my nose is a hickey.
All right, I won't rat you out. I was looking online. Like, looks like in Nova Scotia, you guys have like no active cases or no positive cases
No, dude,
for
there's
a while.
It's so rare here. Like we have 971,000 people, and I think there's three cases right now, but they're all in nursing homes. Which it's unfortunate, right? The whole thing sucks because if you say anything on either side of the argument, someone's going to be mad at you. Like, you want to reopen your business? Oh, you want to kill my grandmother. Or, like, oh, you don't want to reopen business? Oh, you want the economy to tank. There's no fucking winning in this stupid ass argument. Listen, I can't quote where this is from, but I'll try to find it and send it to you. The average age of death in Canada here is 83, and the average lifespan in Canada is 82. So
Yeah.
How's that adding up?
Yeah.
Man, like it's just, I'm not a conspiracy theory guy. It's not like I don't believe this is actually happening, but I don't know if the social distancing worked or if there just wasn't many cases around here. But like, we got nothing down here. There's really nothing going on. I'm ready to start my business back up.
Well, and that was one of the main things I wanted to talk to you about. Obviously, you have the school, you have the clothing and the gear and stuff. Like, it's sort of a stupid question to be like, oh, has the coronavirus affected your business? But
yeah.
It's
it closed down the school. I had to close down. I think it was March 13th. So I haven't had any income from the school since then, except a few students that wanted to keep paying. I didn't force anybody to keep paying. I didn't do any of I just canceled everybody's memberships, and then if they wanted to, they could, because, it would be nice to have a club to go back to. But the first 2 months were rough on the gear sales too. Like the first month, gear sales dropped down to depressing. Like I was very concerned with like everything really, and the government will only give you money if you're not making any other sources of income. So they're doing this $2,000. So they're giving $2,000 to fucking college students, broke ass people who never look for work. Like my grandkids aren't going to see Canada get out of debt from this CERB program, but I don't get it. I'm a hard worker, man. I literally don't sleep, and I don't qualify for anything with the government. I guess there was a big loan for bigger businesses, and I was like $2,000 off payroll for qualifying for it. So I really qualified for nothing. So it's like, oh, you've been working really hard to build a business to help our economy? Suck my dick.
Yeah, that sucks, man.
Yeah, it's terrible.
Well, we had that down
and
here.
I know they don't know what, like, this is weird. This is new. I'm not saying they should have known what they were doing, because how do you plan? Like,
no one knows what's supposed to happen with this.
it's just frustrating because cases like mine where I've been paying fuck tons of taxes for years, they should have like looked at there should be some way for them to find me. And I know it's a big fucking country, but really like tax-paying citizen paying a certain amount, they should be checking in with people like, hey, can we help you keep your business alive so when all this fucking ends, you can keep putting money into our coffers?
Well, that's what Mike and I were talking about a couple weeks ago. It's like every other day I'm seeing a post on social media about someone closing their school or
Yeah, man.
permanently being done. And you think that you're going to be in a position where you're not going to have to be forever, or is there like a timeline on if this lasts for X more months?
I just applied to qualify for some stupid fucking bullshit where I'll be able to run like solo drills, crap like that.
Right.
So whoever wants to come back for that fucking horse piss will get into the club and just stay in shape until they open up. Like Alberta, or not Alberta, Ontario saying that they're not redoing any combat sports like wrestling and grappling until they have a vaccine. But I mean, like,
Wow.
dude, they
That's,
How's
still
that
don't have
gonna work?
that's
vaccine.
crazy.
There's
Dude,
no
like,
way.
They might
Wow.
not even have, like, they might never get a fucking working
Yeah.
vaccine for this. Like,
Yeah,
I don't, man.
it's going to be no time soon. I'll tell you that. Like
Like,
that's insane.
what's the next step here? If all these combat sport clubs close across Canada, like, is there anybody who can lobby for us? Like, will Dana White be like, hey, I'll throw some money into this? He's going to
Yeah.
be losing
Yeah.
fighters left and right. You can't
Yeah.
train.
Yeah, so
I
basically
don't
you have
know.
to hope that you have a UFC fighter at your gym that you can you qualify for the Dana White's personal program.
Man, like, I don't know what the solution is. I really don't. I don't want anybody to die. But at the same fucking time, like, I also don't want to see all these businesses going bankrupt. Whose life is more valuable? Like, where do we draw these lines at? And this is a hard conversation because not only do I not know the answer, I I would be hurt if one of my family members died, of course. Like, I'm not fucking cold hearted, but like, we have people that aren't related to business owners saying, well, if you reopen your business, you're going to kill my fucking family members. And then we have business owners saying, yeah, well, that's cool. I might kill my fucking self, and
Yeah.
then if the business owner goes totally broke, his kids are going to suffer and then they'll grow up in poverty. What if one of those kids growing up in poverty kills themselves 20 years down the road? When do we value which life in this fucking, it's all just fucked up, right?
Yeah, and
So
I don't think anyone really has the true answer.
nobody has the answer. I think we should just isolate the old and the sick and let everyone else go about their fucking life.
The problem that we're running into down here is that we were promised like a break from this quarantine once we quote unquote flatten the curve.
Yeah.
And obviously if you look at the numbers, we've kind of reached that point, and now it's kind of altered to the point that we're waiting for a vaccine, we're waiting
Yeah.
for a cure, and I mean it's
And
just,
where are you at right now?
we're in Pennsylvania, so
Okay.
we're in the
Speak
Northeast.
for yourself. I'm in New Jersey.
I don't like to tell people that for fear that they won't watch our show, but so
Well, yeah,
I mean, like, everybody's been holding on for this flattening the curve and hoping that we could get back to some normal way of life, and then
Well, every time
we
I hear
flatten the
people
curve.
use that argument, they're talking about how they want to flatten the curve so they can keep the medical, like the stress on the medical shit
Yep.
down. And I get that if there was like this massive influx. We didn't have it here. And I know a few people that work in healthcare in the States that told me that their hours were cut because they didn't have it there either. So even though there's preparation for it, like, are we gonna change everything? Because you
Yeah.
think about this, what kills a lot of people? Tobacco, heart disease, and stroke. Let's go burn down Players Light. Do you know how many people tobacco kills every year? 8 fucking million. So those 8 million people, and this is World Health Organization numbers. So those 8 million people that are dying every year, are they not a stress on our healthcare? Imagine if we didn't have those 8 million people dying in the fucking hospitals. There'd be a
Right.
lot more room for other things. McDonald's. Go burn down your local McDonald's. Why? Because then you'll prove to me that you care about the person next to you. You don't let them get obese, they're not going to die. Obesity is actually on the list of things that coronavirus is killing. If you're obese, you're more likely to get it. It's on the World Health Organization thing.
Right.
So I'm not being a dick when I say it. Now we're supposed to look after our fellow person because the coronavirus is killing everybody. But tobacco's been killing 8 million people a year every fucking year. Why aren't we slapping smokes out of people's mouths? Why aren't we burning down fucking tobacco companies? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
It's too much
to me,
money.
it makes
It's too much
it
money.
make oh well, that's the fucking thing, right? Like, it makes perfect sense to me that we're seeing people stress our healthcare system every fucking day, and we're doing literally nothing about it because we truly don't care about other people. But right now, we can all be white knights by staying at home and collecting $2,000 from the government. Let's do it.
So it's $1,200 here. We
Down
got
there?
a 1,200.
Oh, your money's worth more than us. That's
Yeah.
probably
Well, we only got it one
3,700
time.
Canadian.
Yeah,
We
it's
only got it one time. That was we got
Well,
one
here they're
check.
giving it every fucking month.
Yeah, we
Not
got
Oh,
one.
that's crazy.
We got
Yeah,
one
it was
check.
just a one-time
Yeah.
thing.
One check.
But here's the other thing in terms of, building resources that they didn't even use. They built a $17 million pop-up hospital in Houston that they took down before they even had a patient there. Like, they have
Nice.
plans to destroy it. So, like, they're taking all
Yeah.
these precautions.
But what about the next wave
right.
that we're hearing about?
Right.
Well,
So
that's what's happening right now is like some states that are loosening guidelines, like they're seeing increases in cases, which like that's gonna happen
Well,
as
of
more people
course,
go
yeah.
out. But nobody wants to be the person who's like, okay, the governor who opens their state back up and there's a mass spike. Like, I think they're all worried about what is going to happen in that second
Yeah.
wave. No one wants to take the first step to be like, here we go. I mean, again, I'm not like a medical doctor or
I know.
anything. But
Yeah.
You're
I
So,
don't
like,
have the-
everything I say, you got to take it with, it's
Yeah.
just me being a pissed off business owner.
I'm sure we'll get comments and messages from doctors saying, you idiots, this is why. But it just from our
Well,
perspective,
good, though.
it doesn't mean we can't
Listen,
train. You know what I mean?
if they're watching and they know my it's just at the Kent Peters, fucking send me the information. Like, I want to someday live in a world where your opinion changes based on new information.
Right.
And
Yeah, that's
we're
not a bad
currently,
thing.
dude. We're not
You're
currently
not.
living there.
Yeah.
But if you can teach me to change my opinion, I'll fucking do it. I'm not based on opinion. I try
Yeah.
to be based on fact.
Exactly.
Right now, I'm seeing all these fucking people being fear mongered, and it bugs me a bit.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
the thing.
that's a great point of view to have. Be able to
I try
change
to
your
live like
perspective
that.
on things. That's great.
Well, nice segue coming. Speaking of your opinion on things, so yeah, I'm getting good at these
I love
segues.
that
I'm getting real good at these segues.
Let's stop talking about shit that can get us in trouble. And here we go.
All right, that might have been a better segue than the one that I was going to set up. But
I got your back, bro.
so obviously, Zombie Proof, I think, is one of like the coolest names for a school going around.
Thanks, man.
How did that come out? Like, how did you? What was the beginning of the school? And
It was an accident. Like, I started my own club as a white belt because we just didn't have any clubs around here. So I'm self-taught. Like, I've only had an instructor for 3 months total out of everything. So I'm a YouTube black belt. I'm a legit black belt under Jake McKenzie from GFT, but I'm a YouTube black belt where he just came in for seminars. You know what I mean? And
you have your judo black belt as well, correct?
Yeah. I was a brown belt for like fucking 7 years though, and then I finally got it. I was sitting at the host, and we had mats in my garage, and one of my buddies was like, "Hey, man, can I bring one of my friends to the club?" And I was like, "Fuck, bro, you can bring whoever you want, but there's no zombies allowed." And it was just a joke because I don't remember what this was pre-Walking Dead, but I was always a geek, right? So I said that, and he was like, "Man, so this place is zombie proof?" And I was
All right,
Yeah.
that kind of works.
There you go.
like,
Yeah.
it is. That's what we're gonna go with. And I named it Zombie Proof, and I just got someone to draw up a little. I asked for. I didn't want me to be in the logo because I do like myself a lot, but I thought that was a little over the top. So I said I wanted Lyle Lovett in a camo gi choking a zombie in a business suit, and luckily this dude knew who Lyle Lovett was, so he drew it, and it was perfect. And that was the old logo. I recently got it updated. I got a tattoo artist to redo it, but the old one, that's what it was. So yeah, Zombie Proof, man. I've always been a geek. And then when The Walking Dead came out, I got a good influx of people.
Yeah. How many people walk in your door actually thinking you're like a zombie prepper, teach you how school?
Dude,
We will
I get
kill every
messages on
zombie.
YouTube. I get messages on YouTube all the time like, "This would 100% get you bit." Well, fucking yeah.
I mean, I don't think a zombie can really escape a heel hook. So as long as you're staying
No,
away
well,
from the head.
Rip that
every
fucking thing
Halloween
off.
I do like supernatural survival tips, and I get one of my students to like wear the zombie mask, and I just fucking. It's usually my boy Keenan, and dude, I suplexed him so hard one time, and he had the mask on, and it was the scariest fucking thing that ever happened to me.
Well, is that how you sort of branched off into the supernatural survival gear? The name of the clothing brand was
Yeah,
like one
dude,
led to
that
the
was
other.
it was because I was writing all of these like advertisements for the club, and I'm like I said, I'm geeky as fuck, right? So I was writing these advertisements, and they were supernatural survival facts, like supernatural survival fact number 250, and then I would just make shit up about like UFOs, werewolves, like vampires fear rolling crucifix chokes, like just bullshit, right?
Yeah.
And I would work it into an ad, and I was posting them on Facebook, and supernatural survival gear was just a complete accident. I ordered a bunch of gear from a company, and I won't shit on any companies, but I ordered gear from a company for the club, and the shit that showed up was shit. It was just terrible quality. The crotches were ripping out of the spats like right away. The rash guards just felt like shit. And you know that material picking, like the fluffy shit?
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
stuff fucking, bro,
Yep.
it kills me. And I felt bad selling this horse shit to my students. So I started hunting through different factories. I spent tons of money getting samples from different factories. And I finally found one guy that was perfect. And the gear I started getting in, people just started asking for it. So message after message, I asked my buddy to show me how to set up like a Shopify account, and I started fucking selling gear.
Yeah.
So it was
Jesus.
completely unintentional. I never meant for it to happen. And now I make more money with SSG than I do with Zombie Proof. Definitely now
Wow.
during the fucking apocalypse.
Wow. Wow. Well, I would think during an apocalypse, a guy who's doing supernatural survival gear in a zombie-proof club is going to be
Right?
the guy in
Right?
demand.
Yeah. That's who you got to talk to.
See, I'm in the middle of nowhere, so I never expected anything like this to grow. And now I get people that travel to come train with me. And like, I don't even think I'm that good at jujitsu. I'm just good at breaking videos down and teaching. So I guess people like that. But it's cool, man. I love having visitors.
What happened with the? You had like a ton of followers on Instagram, right? And then
Yeah.
didn't it get deleted, or what was the
Yeah,
story behind
fucking
that?
bullshit. It was a blessing in disguise because I had about 23K at the time, and I reposted a UFC video, but it wasn't a actual UFC video. Somebody took it, and it was the rolling on Minari where the guy got kneed in the face and knocked out,
Oh
Oh,
right?
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
And somebody took that and they added something to it, so it was like a video meme. And
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was fucking hilarious. So I reposted it, and then months later, I wake up in the morning and I try to click on my account and it won't work. And I go to one of my other accounts, it's just gone. So I open my email. I don't know why. Like I felt the need to open email, but I opened it and I had a notification at like 2:03 and a notification at 2:05. And the 2:03 one said, your account posted copyrighted material and the material has been taken down. And then 2 minutes later, your account has been deleted and will not be reactivated.
Jesus Christ.
So I didn't even get a warning, right? And I went on my other account and I told everybody like I'm starting the new Kent Peters, and within like an hour, that one had like fucking I don't know, like 3,000 followers or something, which was cool. Like even like Craig Jones shared it and was like, "Hey man, follow this guy," and it was cool because I was shocked that that many people actually liked me, right? Because it's still kind of weird being from the middle of nowhere and people following you.
Yeah.
And Jiu-Jitsu Times wrote an article about my account being deleted, and a guy named Ryan Thaluja messaged me. He was like, "Hey, bro, I'm a big fan of your videos, and I work for Facebook. Is there any way that you'd be okay with me going in and just taking a look? Maybe I can do something. Maybe I can't." And I was like, "Bro, that would be fucking amazing." And him and another guy named David Banta both checked, and they found out that I was like one strike, and it was an accidental delete. It wasn't supposed to engage the delete. Dude, I don't know anything about these fucking bots deleting shit, right? But he got my account reactivated. So then I posted a video like, "Thank you all so much." The Jiu Jitsu Times article got somebody who fixed it all up. And then fucking I ended up helping like 15 people reactivate their accounts with my friends from Facebook there. So like
Wow.
Bo Hightower,
Oh yeah.
the
Yeah.
guy with the hammer, I got his account back. I got Eddie Bravo's account back.
Wow.
Casey Halstead, the Fuck It Top team. I love saying that. Even some like other accounts unrelated, like Sticks and Stones. They're a hunting gear company. They got tons of followers, and I got their account back. I mean, I say me, but all I did was like intermediary work,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
But
What
it was,
what were they getting deleted for? Just because
dude,
copyright?
stupid shit. Copyright. Instagram went down this fucking massive purge out of fear. Because when Instagram gets a threat from someone's lawyer, they don't really care if the person is right or wrong. They don't want to deal with lawsuits, right?
Okay.
So the UFC was just laying down fucking lawsuit cases one after another. So there were UFC fighters getting deleted for posting their own fight on the
Wow.
fucking
Yeah,
on Instagram.
that's crazy.
You
Yeah.
know what I mean? So like Eddie Bravo, I think I can't remember exactly, but he posted one of his fighters on a UFC event, and I got him like it was cool because like I was texting Eddie Bravo. You know how geeked out I was by that.
Yeah. Probably the
So
same
yeah,
way that Mike was jealous when you texted me on Instagram the first time, and I sent him a screenshot that
Yeah.
me and you were best friends now, and he was hating.
Mike,
But
Yeah,
listen, I am
listen.
not that cool. Don't worry about it.
No, you're
He's not.
but you're much cooler than Justin, so it doesn't really
listen,
it
I'm not
doesn't
arguing with that.
matter.
Hey
Yeah.
man,
So
I'll just keep trying to put out good content. And hopefully,
I
people
thought
keep
he was
liking it.
fucking with me at first, if we're being honest. I'm like he got his brother and he changed his fucking name in his phone, and now
That's
is
wicked.
his brother. So
Well, I think one of the coolest things about your Instagram and the way you break stuff down is there's not a lot of people who really get into like the heel hook game, and especially with like lower belts. Like you know me, you see my page, like I love the leg lock game. I'm all about
Yeah.
it. I tap Mike left and right with heel hooks.
it's
Where
bullshit.
do where do you land on, like, you have some brand new white belt comes in your school? When do you start introducing the leg lock
Right
game to
away.
them?
Right
See,
away.
me too, but I know a lot of
Yeah.
people get into like
Well, see, I think a lot of clubs are I don't want to point fingers because I don't know for sure. But my club is safer than most clubs because I'm a fucking tyrant. I will kick you out. If you hurt one person, you're fucked. Like I'm like insane. And I know that sounds weird, but I preach to everybody right away. Safety is paramount. Without safety in here, there's no trust. With no trust, there's not going to be the right amount of evolution. And I'm very good for injuries. Like we have very few injuries at my club because I make sure everyone knows up front that if you put winning ahead of you put your training partner's well-being, I will kick you the fuck out and you can find somewhere else to train. Right? Winning is not important in the club. I get tapped by my guys all the time because it's not worth cranking something just to prove that you're better than someone on the fucking mats on a Tuesday night in the middle of fucking bumfuck nowhere. So we're so dead set on safety that I've made it part of the culture, you know? So if one of my students see a new student doing something fast, they'll say it to them because
mhm.
that's the way the culture is built. Like I don't need to be that guy. And I've done that with a lot of things. I've done that with cleanliness too. Like if you smell, we're telling you. I'll tell you, my students will tell you, and it's not an insult, but clean your fucking shit because that stink could be staph. That stink could end up being MRSA. It could be ringworm. It could be impetigo. I make sure that my students know up front that we're in close contact with each other. Things could happen, especially if you don't clean your shit. And it's always the clean guys that get it. So that clean dude who came clean just got ringworm because you didn't wash your rash guard. You know what I mean? So I have a cleaner that comes in every single day. I spend more money on cleaning than I need to because I'm insane. But my club is the cleanest club that I've ever been to. And I haven't been to like tons of clubs, so I'm not, you know,
Yeah.
but like my club is clean and my club is safe. Like we all heel hook everyone and there's very few injuries.
I think Justin in one of his videos he talked about it and it was perfectly put. If you are teaching these guys at a beginner level of safety and you're you're preaching safety, when you're teaching
It's
them the
gonna
heel
go
hooks,
forever, man.
there's no reason why it can't be viewed as you would view an armbar or a
Yep.
Kimura or something. You know, it's
Kimura is
just
way more dangerous too. I mean, I've had this argument before, and like, I agree heel hooks are dangerous, but if a shitty beginner is doing a heel hook, the injury probably isn't going to be as bad as if Oliver Taza slaps it on and goes full fucking crank.
right.
But like a Kimura, man, like you rip your shoulder, you're going to have shoulder pain for the rest of your life. Now, do you walk on your shoulders? No. But man, shoulder pain sucks.
Right.
Well, it's not even like I hate even thinking of it as like more dangerous. It's just the consequence is greater.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
If someone takes a heel hook too far, it's a big consequence to the knee.
Yep.
If you take an armbar too far, it's, you know, maybe a month. You can't
Elbow.
train.
Yep.
It's, you know, it's anyone doing any submission the wrong way or too aggressively is dangerous. There's
100%.
no safe way to aggressively put something on.
Right.
Yep.
So if you teach these guys early what it's like, and then when they're purple belts, they're not getting hurt because they've never seen a heel hook before because they've been
Exactly.
training for 4 years without it. But
Yep.
that's, you know, I think we're all on the same page there.
It makes perfect sense. And a lot of the issues, any injuries that do happen in my club are typically momentum or gravity issues. So, like, you were going too fast in one direction. You know, like one of my students blew my knee because he had a calf slicer on and then he slipped.
Yeah, like it happens.
You know, it
I mean,
wasn't
accidents
malicious.
happen.
Exactly. Like, he wasn't trying to hurt me. I know that. He knows that, even though he can go fuck himself. But now,
one of our guys had to have MCL surgery because as he was doing a knee cut to pass the guard, they were on too much of a wet spot and his foot slipped out. Like,
oh, yeah.
he wasn't getting heel hooked.
Right.
He was passing the guard. You can't.
Yep.
What are you going to tell students? They can't pass guard because you might hurt their
Man.
knee. Like, you got to do
Before I
everything
got
the
a
right way.
full, like, I got a mat covering for all my mats, so it's a vinyl tarp that goes over the whole surface. And before that, like, we had all kinds of toe injuries just from the fucking seams, right? Those things are bastards.
Ripping, yeah.
Wrestling class with those seams? Fuck that.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Well, Ken, I have one more question for you.
Shoot,
And
bro.
I've been wondering for a long time. I was gonna send
What's
you a
with the
DM
hoodies?
about it.
Because
What's
it's
with
gonna
the hoodies?
Yeah, man.
This
I
is
get
probably the
that all
question you get
time.
asked every day, right? What's
Yeah,
with the hoodies?
well, I used to make up different answers. Like, you know how the Joker, like, you want to know how I got these scars?
Yeah.
I used to just tell people the wrong shit, like everybody. But let me see if I can. Yeah, so that lump right there, you can't really see it because there's no background. But that's my collarbone. I completely tore my AC joint. I was choking somebody. I was standing, and I had them in a cross collar choke, and they like dropped back, and I landed on the shoulder because I didn't let go of the choke, and I just heard like Velcro like ripping, right? And I stood up, and I had a few paramedics in my class, and I was like, boys, come here. I need you to pop my shoulder back in place. And they peeled my gi off, and they were like, yep, nope, that's not popping back into place. So I didn't know what it was. I went up and I got x-rays and shit, and I completely tore the AC joint. So that's where the collarbone hooks up to the shoulder.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't take any time off. I came back to the club that night, and then I was back on the mats like 2 days later. That was a Thursday, and I went back and I trained on the Saturday class, and I just started wearing hoodies just to stay warm, right? Because I figured like I can still do a lot of shit. I got most of my body still working. So I just trained with my higher belts, and I just wore a rash guard t-shirt and then a hoodie to try to keep everything warm while I was going so it wouldn't get any worse. And then when my like the AC joint, it'll never heal. It doesn't go back together. But when I finally got used to it, the hoodie was a habit.
Hey, it's my favorite comment to write on your post whenever there's not a hoodie. Is I try to comment
Who's
as much
this
as
guy?
I can. Yeah. Doesn't look like
I
you. What's
love
going on? I've never seen your arms before.
I know,
great.
right?
I noticed in your Instagram bio, it's pretty cool where it says like, just send me a message anytime.
Yep.
Do you get people sending you messages all the time?
Yeah,
just
I
talking
answered
jiu-jitsu?
like 3 messages before I did this podcast. Yeah, I get tons, especially when I make that post. Once a month I try to post like, message me anytime, talk about jiu-jitsu, just say hi, request a technique video, and I'll get like 500 messages, and I'll message every one of them back.
Jesus.
And
That's
dude,
cool,
I get
dude.
some
That's awesome.
I get some weird messages, man.
Yeah, I'm sure. If you put that out there where it's okay to message you, you're
Yeah.
gonna get some weirdos.
Yeah, lots to like. I made lots of friends through it though.
Yeah, that's
And
awesome,
it's cool
man.
that you can actually make friends that you might never meet in real life, right? Like, this is the world we're living in now.
Yeah, seriously, dude. Like,
All from jujitsu.
yeah,
Yeah, bro.
and that's why we need to get back to it.
I know, 100%.
Thanks for coming on and being the highest profile guest we're gonna get for a long time.
For a
coming on the
long
show,
time.
So,
Guys, I am not that cool, but thank you very much for having me, guys.
All right, Kent. Take care.
thanks,
See you
Kent.
later.
A huge thank you to Kent Peters for coming on and talking to us today. You can find Kent on Instagram at the Kent Peters, and you can find Supernatural Survival Gear at supernaturalsurvivalgear.com. Information on Kent's school, Zombie Proof BJJ, can be found at zombieproofbjj.com, and you can follow our show at that_jiu-jitsu_podcast. If you want to see the full video version of this episode, you can find That Jiu-Jitsu Podcast on YouTube. And to follow Mike directly on Instagram, it's at m_Callahan106. And if you want to follow me directly, it's at Justin Lesko, Lesko. Thanks so much, guys, and we'll see you next time.